Okay, let's see what my cards think I should focus on again for the new year. Oh, snap. Did my cards just tell me to come out again? Hey YouTube, come out wherever you are. Today's question, or this week's question rather, for the YouTube Bacon Challenge is, are you in or out of the closet? I assume they mean room or otherwise, and it just so happens that I was doing an annual tarot reading today for myself to explore what my New Year's resolution type goals should be for the forthcoming year. And I just happened to pull 3 cards that absolutely coincide with the question that I was planning to talk about. They are utterly identified with the process of coming out. We have the Tower, which is the destruction of something in the past that leads to the chance to rebuild. We have the Prince of Swords, and I really love this card because you can see him pulling away a mask and a spiritual butterfly over his head, soaring into freedom and into new beginnings. And of course, you have the Last Judgment, which is really about finality and outcome. But yeah, really, I can address this video in 2 ways. But I'll really address it in the way I know best as a gay man, because the process of coming out is really very individual. A lot of people aren't really ready for it. They don't really have the emotional tools to deal with it. But I have never really hidden who I am. It's just not in my nature. I was somewhat out even in high school. I never really hid the fact that I found other guys my age attractive. Although I was terrified of the fact of ever getting back to my parents, because when I was forced to come out, my mom had actually found a letter that I had written, and I had asked her to take me to the doctor, not for any tests or anything, but because I wanted to get a handle on why I was getting sick all the time. Not sick in the traditional cough cough. I'm running a fever sense, but ever since I've been in junior high, I have suffered these horrible dizzy spells and this crippling nausea. And come to find out, I have New Year's disease, which is not fun. I would not wish it on anyone. Anyway, when I was, basically trapped in the car with Mom, my mom's the person, she does not like secrets whatsoever. She just confronts people, which, I really don't think you should do that. Especially in situations such as these. Really, people should be allowed to have their secrets. I know some mothers who literally go ballistic when they discover that their child is keeping something from them, even if it's extremely extremely small, you know, nothing worth worrying about. They fly off the handle and just flip out, going into these screaming fits at their children, saying there will be no secrets in this house. You know, as if it's the most offensive thing to them as a mother, as a human being. But you know, secrets are not so bad. I would argue that you would be offended if you could read people's minds and see what they were really thinking or feeling. But when I was really forced to come out to my mother, it was my second year in college. Or actually, it was the summer before my second year in college. She actually took me to a cemetery to see one of her cousins who died of AIDS. Yeah, that was an extremely traumatic experience for me. And it's the wrong thing to have done, in my opinion. Okay, the sun was getting in my eyes, so I had to close the curtain a little bit. But yeah, my family's really had a mixed reaction to me being gay. They acknowledge it's a part of me, but it's not a part of me they really want to celebrate. They're the kind that don't really understand the concept behind gay pride. It's not something they really want to be a part of, which is unfortunate. But that's really Iowa for you. I am also of the opinion that a lot of native gay Iowan men suffer from a huge amount of internalized homophobia, because I cannot tell you how many gay men I have encountered in this state who have actually told me that kissing other men is a turn-off to them. What the fuck? Some of them actually happen to be in relationships, and you know, the only native Iowans who are in relationships and are gay are often in dysfunctional relationships. It's as if they don't take their relationships seriously. They're very dismissive of it. You know, they could be in a relationship or not, it doesn't matter to them. You know, so then why be in a relationship at all? Iowans are horrible players. They are extremely rude. I've never met a gay community that is more rude than here in Iowa. You know, it's just extremely heartbreaking. It's as if they just don't care about each other, as if their gay brothers and sisters don't matter to them. I have made a handful of what I thought were gay friends here in this small town that I live in, but you know, I hardly ever see them. They never call, they never drop by. They just move out of town without even the courtesy of saying goodbye, which has really hurt my feelings each and every time. It's actually underscored the rather egregious trust issues that I already have. But yeah, that's just gay Iowans. I have been stood up for every date I've ever asked another man out on, sitting by the door looking stupid. When I go to question them, at least one of them actually had the balls to say that he never intended to follow through on the date. You know, I just would like to know why they even bother accepting a date if they have no intention of ever following through. I have even been ridiculed by the local gay community for complaining about this behavior as if I am immature to expect anything else, anything different than this. Which it just tears your heart out every day. And that's really that's a huge chunk of why I feel so alone in this state, so lonely in this vicious state. Because no one ever wants to go anywhere, no one wants to do anything with anyone else. It's like I live in a state of loners. I mean, I am the sole hugger in a family of people that don't like to touch anyone else. I'm the affectionate one, and people don't understand why in my family. My pining for proper gay community is really why I am gravitated towards creating magical methods of really supporting it. For example, I drew this sigil here for the gay community. It's my gay power sigil. And gay power was really a chant of the early gay rights movement in the 60s and 70s that I hold dear. And it's also why I am so interested in gay history, because there was a time when we were actually a privileged part of society. There was a time when to have someone in your clan, in your community who was gay was a great honor. They were thought to be down by spiritual powers. They were thought to walk between the worlds, to be innately magical, and that they could commune with the spirits and the gods more effectively than could someone else. It was also part of a more natural part of the shamanic crisis that led so many shamans to realize that their vocation was to be the shaman of their clan or community. It's what has led me to have such a respect for history, to have such a respect for beautiful vintage items that aren't produced anymore. It's what has led me to read so many classic books for gay men and lesbian women from an occult or magical standpoint, such as Jack Fisher's Popular Witchcraft, or Arthur Evans' Witchcraft in the Gay Counterculture, and even Randy P. Connor's wonderful books on the subject, who I actually had the privilege of meeting Randy last March, and I will never forget it. He and his husband David were wonderful to me. They treated me like gold, and I will never forget that. It means a lot to me. But it also wanting a proper gay community is also why I so strongly pine to be a part of a gay coven, even. Because when I go to pagan gatherings, I am usually the token gay boy. Let me share something with you. Back when I was attending pagan potlucks in Redfield and the surrounding areas, it's about 20 miles east. The high priestess there claimed that she was very accepting of gays and she loved going to gay bars, but whenever I behaved as though I were just a regular person, she was sort of put off by that because I wasn't entertaining, and it occurred to me that a lot of women tend to look at gay men as being a source of entertainment for them. And it's something that I often see at bars. I see these straight women going to gay bars having a good time because they want to be entertained by gay men and our antics. And to me, that's really offensive. I don't like being someone's token gay. I don't like being treated as though I am just a clown for your amusement. It's really offensive to me. At one of the events, I was just chatting with another gay man who is a drag queen and pagan and a witch, and also happened to be a part of our group later on than I was. And he was telling me all about drag culture, which I had never known before. And I totally think that a book should be written on drag culture, an anthropological book even. That would be really, really awesome. It would be really fascinating to read that. But we were just sort of sitting there alone in her family room, and we're just sitting on the couch just chatting, and she walks in and gives us this stern look as if we are doing something improper, which really bothered me because I'm not an improper person. I may have a really sex positive attitude, but it doesn't mean I don't know how to behave around straight people. And that she would just think that because two gay people are together means you must be doing something salacious is absolutely beyond the pale ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know any non-gay Iowan men that treat each other well. The only gay Iowans I know in the state that are actually good to each other, even pagans, are non-natives, and their relationships are healthy. In fact, they actually they are usually both non-natives that have a healthy relationship, and they're usually expats from elsewhere in the country. But I'm losing my train of thought today. It just really hurts. It's really, really heartbreaking that almost no one in this state wants a community with each other. They are just so quick to write each other off, to say have a nice life, and you never see them again. And it's as if gay men in Iowa don't know how to be friends. It's as if they don't want to be friends with anyone. And it just tears your soul out after a while, because after a while you just stop trying to make friends. But all I've really wanted are just some real gay friends in this state that want to hang out, that want to do things with me, that want me to do things with them. But they behave flippantly with everyone in their lives. I don't know, maybe someone else can explain this behavior better than I can. I've been told by so many former Iowans that it's not just my imagination, that gay Iowans do treat each other this badly all the time, that they have never, in all the states they've lived in, encountered so many Iowans that just want to be left alone, that don't want to befriend anyone, that treats other gay men horribly. And I just don't understand why. I was never raised that way. God forbid. My parents raised me well. I'm always telling my family how well they raised me when I see someone behaving horribly. But I'm getting a little off track with this video. I really don't want to leave it as a downer by any means. It just happens that it's been progressing that way because out of all the books I've read over my lifetime, it just makes me pine more and more for a real gay community, and it just seems as though there is none here. That it's just as if Iowans are natural loners, and I don't understand that by any means. I've never been a loner. I have been alone, but it's never by choice. I was always bullied in high school and middle school and elementary school. I was always treated badly by my fellow students. I was always treated as though I didn't belong by them. So that's why I always really felt unwelcome. You know, they always went to lengths to make you feel unwelcome, and that's what a lot of gay Iowans do to other gay people. They really make them feel unwelcome, as though they don't really care about them. That they could, just go off and do their own thing, and it wouldn't matter one bit to them. So I really don't understand this whole isolating habit of the gay community here. I'm trying my damnedest to move out of the state because it's just so frustrating to live here, and my family doesn't understand that. They don't understand what it's like not to have friends. They don't understand what it's like to be alone all the time. They like it that way, and they don't understand why I don't. But I don't like it that way. It hurts me every day. I actually had the first honest conversation with my mom a few weeks ago when we were screaming and yelling at each other because she just doesn't understand what I'm feeling. But I told her I was sad and lonely all the time. I cry myself to sleep half the night. And she just doesn't get it. She doesn't understand why. She doesn't know how to help me. Because there are so few opportunities around here, and no one wants to do anything with anyone else. Not even my brother wants to do anything with me. He goes up to be with his friend, and he never asked me to go with him. I would like to be involved with his life, but he just doesn't. I don't know why. That's just how he's always been for as long as I've known him. Okay, now back on the topic a little bit more. Whoever I share my orientation with, or the fact that I'm a witch, it just depends on the person and how close I feel to them emotionally. Not everyone has a right to know. Not everyone I feel deserves to know. And that may be due to maybe how they've treated me growing up. Because I will give someone the shirt off my back. I will cook for someone. I will really dote on someone. But if that person in any way makes me feel as though they're taking me for granted, or makes me feel in any way unwanted, or as though they're pushing me away out of their life. You know, just doing something that really stings me emotionally, even if it's passive aggressive, I will pull out all my doting immediately. They won't get one damn thing from me. You know, I won't cook for them, I won't dote on them, nothing. I will even give them the silent treatment because I am a passive aggressive bitch. But yeah, that's pretty much how I view coming out. You know, because not everyone deserves to know. Not everyone deserves to be that close to me unless I have feelings for them. You know, really real feelings for them. You know, if I go to hug someone and they pull away, like my stepmother did once, you know, that really offends me. That deeply hurts me, and I pull the emotional rug away. You know, they won't get jack shit from me. But yeah, I take that personally as a form of rejection, really. Yeah. Oh, I actually came out more properly to some of my dad's siblings, one of my aunts in particular. You know, because I wear this every day, everywhere I go. You know, if you don't know what it is, you know, that's on you. But if you do and you see it, you know, you'll know that I am a witch. You know, there's just no hiding that fact. I even, you know, I wear this every day. I would feel naked without it. But I was at my Aunt Carrie's retirement party a couple years ago, I think. And one of my dad's sisters, my aunt approached me and held my dog. She says it was very pretty. She's really admiring it. Oh, and I told her that it is a pentacle and it is associated with my religion, which is polytheism. Although I had to really explain to them what polytheism is because they didn't know what that word meant. Which, you know, looking back, I really should have thought about it before I actually used that word. My bad. But yeah, I came out. I mean, I came out to her right next to my dad and his girlfriend. And my dad knew I was interested in this stuff. But my dad's girlfriend didn't really know anything about it, so I kind of had to explain it a little bit to all three of them, which is fine. I don't mind explaining things. I actually enjoy teaching others when I can. Even though some people think that me wanting to explain things and to teach things means I think they're stupid. I don't. I just like teaching people and making sure that everyone reaches the same level of knowledge, because a rising tide lifts all boats, which not all teachers seem to take into consideration. Back when I was in college, it was a sink or swim environment. They threw you into the meat grinder, into the sharks, and if you didn't have the necessary skills, then you were SOL. They were, for example, expecting us to they're expecting us to be able to notate music without having any ear training knowledge to fall back on. They were also expecting us to, well, they would give people with a marginal ability at the piano a new song that they had never seen before. And our classes met every other day, so they gave us the music on like Monday, or maybe it was on Tuesday, and then on either the Wednesday or the Thursday, depending on the day the class met, you would have to have the song memorized and be able to play it in whatever new key the instructor called out, which I have spoken with many people that have graduated from music programs, and And they've told me that, that is that is bullshit, because that is really a music theory level 3 assignment, and we were having to do that in music theory level 1. So
Audio Jungle.
Yeah, that is that's sort of what I mean by that.
Audio
that
Jungle.
Our teachers just weren't very good teachers. But yeah, I'm sure I have digressed
Audio
far
Jungle.
too much today, and I will let you go. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you again. So until
Audio
then,
Jungle.
bye bye, and I wish you well.